Hey, Ben Werbos here at the Bass College. I'm on the Upper Bay in Maryland. Water temps are 50 degrees, air temps are probably 45, 50. It's really pretty nice out. It's supposed to get mid to upper 50s today. Right now we're faced with a pretty low tide. It's really low right now actually, and high tide I think is around 2 o'clock today. So we're going to face some different conditions today, but we're going to get out and see what we can do. I'm going to start out with some reaction type baits, throw some crankbaits, some flat-sided crankbaits, some silent stuff because it's pretty flat and calm this morning. I'll probably throw a shaky head around a bit. Probably also throw a little jig. Also today with the reaction type baits, and I always love this stuff for the reaction type baits. Spinner baits, chatter baits, crankbaits. I use a lot of FC Sniper. Today I'm using 14. The FC Sniper is awesome stuff. It's really strong, pretty abrasion proof. It does pretty well out here, especially even on those big fish. Some of my rods only have 10 or 12, but that stuff really can hold up. It's really nice. They can't see it. It's 100% fluorocarbon. So go ahead and give Sunline a try. You'll be pretty happy. It's definitely worth looking into. All right, well, let's see if we can't do something today. You can get snagged here, but you want to just grind it through these pilings. Hitting stuff now. Got 4.5 foot. We're going to switch crankbaits in a sec. A little too shallow for him. Go back to the 4-foot jackal here. I'm going to chuck that jig in here a couple times. I can't resist it. Looks too good and it's real still. There's a lot of debris in there. So just lift it over, let it fall. Now don't reel because you'll come too far away from the good structure. You just want to lift it over at the rod tip and let it fall. That's huge. That's how a lot of my bites come. All right, it's a little calm here for my liking. We're gonna go get back on them rocks and try to get 1 or 2 more before the night's out. See, they're really pretty heavy out here in 8 foot of water, just, you know, kind of along this line outside the dock pilings here, but look at that. So we're gonna go ahead and try and get them here, see what we can do. I'm gonna throw a little marker buoy out. Try and crank this one last little hole. This hole can be real good. You know, we're just grinding this crankbait, this little Jackal Bling, this flat-sided, you know, on as many rocks and pieces of structure as we can, you know, hoping to get one to react to it or, you know, come up and eat it. But we're digging a lot of good cover, and the breeze is up, the tide's up, you know. If we get it by one, they should be in the mood. There we go. Yep, here's one. Don't come off, buddy. Stay on there. Come back. Gotcha. Oh, nice one. Fatty. Easy, easy, easy. You know, and be careful with these crankbaits. They'll put them right in you. Go ahead and use the pliers so they don't stick these trebles in me. So I was saying, you know, just grind as many rocks as you can. Trees, logs, just, you want to just smack as many things as you can, you know, and they're just going to come up and react or hit it. That's a nice one. This sucker's fat. Look at the belly on that one. Fat thing. You know, that fish is 4 pounds just due to the weight. It's a good 4-pounder. And we're just, you know, jumping good rock pile to good rock pile, trying to cover a ton of water and, you know, hope to get it in front of one more fish. You know, we're just hitting that point at a whole bunch of different angles, you know. We don't know which side they're sitting on or which way they're facing right now. Water's coming out, they should be facing, you know, back in the anchor up this way, but, you know, it's pretty still. It's not really ripping. They could be on any side of this right now. Rocks. Couple quick flips and we'll move on. You know what we'll do one time? Parallel that wall. And we'll parallel these walls and come right down to all the pilings. So you're covering about 6 good pilings at once instead of just one at a time. A lot of leaves though. Must have landed on him. All right, I'm here with Marcus Griffin out on the Upper Bay. He's got some really nice fish today. What did they weigh?
This one was 4.9.
4.9.
And this one was 5.4.
5.4, huh?
Yes, sir.
And you said something about you caught them out on the edge of the grass, kind of?
Yeah, I went out to the flats. I'm gonna put these in the live well.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Right back with you. And, yeah, man. I went out to the grass flats and I pulled right off the channel edge, right where the grass was still kind of green, and found some good stuff. And I basically started throwing a trap, trying to cover some water. And you know, just like summertime fishing or early spring, I would rip that trap free, and once it fluttered, you know, it broke free, got a reaction strike from those fish. So they're pulling off the grass edges, hopefully getting ready to make a transition up here.
Yeah, did you catch a bunch of them today?
Today I had 4 bites and I was out for 4 hours. So
yeah, that's good.
Yeah,
that's good.
I spent 3 hours out in the grass or on the grass edges, and then I came back here in an hour. I had 2.
Cool.
Everything came on a trap. I was just yo-yoing the trap on the rocks in here, strictly going after the reaction bite.
Yeah, I was getting them on a flat-sided crankbait, just bashing the rocks.
Okay.
You know, and every now and then I'd hit a big rock and it would just stop.
Yeah. It seems like you got to be down there on the rocks. You know, those fish aren't really chasing you. You got to do something to make them react to it, whether it's banging a crankbait off the rocks or, you know, yo-yoing it and pulling it past their face and letting it flutter back down.
Yeah, it's almost like you have to hit something, you know, or do something erratic with it, or else they don't touch it.
Yeah,
you know,
it's interesting, and you know, you come up here, there's a lot of pressure up here. That's why I kind of wanted to go look around and see if I can find some better quality fish without as much pressure. But up here, it seems like you really got to do something a little different in order to get them to react to it or get those bites. So.
Yeah, it can be a grind here, but you know, 1 minute tough, and the next minute it can be on fire in here too.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you what else I noticed. Those fish came as the tide, right when the tide started to swing back out to outgoing tide. And then, like I said, I wanted to come here and mess around. And right before the tide got low, that last hour of outgoing tide, I picked those last 2 fish up.
You know, that's when I got my better fish. Once it started swinging out of here, and then the breeze. This morning was flat, slick, calm. It was actually warm. I was shedding clothes, and all I could catch, you know, were rats and little fish on shaky heads. But, you know, this afternoon, the wind, that moving tide did a lot. he came right up at the boat. I just saw that one. I was, you know, I'm just still banging rock and hit a couple trees even. I felt them, and you know, right when I lifted that crankbait out of the water, that fish just did a circle, maybe about 2 pounds. And I feel like sometimes you go to lift the bait out of the water and they react to it. They were following it along or something, and that makes them snap. Just that little change in motion or direction. Couple more casts before we wrap her up for the day. Woo, good one. Whoa, buddy. Woo! Turn. Gotcha. Woo! Oh, we had time for one more good one. Look at that fatty. Shaky head right as it's getting dark. Look at that fat boy. These fish are nice and healthy. Oh man. See, they're really pretty heavy out here in 8 foot of water, just, you know, kind of along this line outside the dock pilings here, but look at that. So we're gonna go ahead and try and get them here, see what we can do. I'm gonna throw a little marker buoy out. This guy if you want here and there. You know, give you a little something to throw at, because now there's none on the screen. You know, well, now they're on a little something, you know, 2 bites in a few minutes. I went ahead and dipped it. I like a little chartreuse on the tail, and it's garlic. You know, so we're gonna rig up a new one. It's just a little zoom trick worm. You know, I believe it's actually called shaky head worm June bug, super salt plus, but a ton come in a pack. They're cheap. You know, fish have trouble resisting them, even when it's tough. I'm just gonna wind it on there, you know, and pull it out a little ways after the head. And take the winder up on there, push it up over the bait holder there, you know, and then I give it a little spin, spin it here, you know, and then I go ahead and put it up onto the hook. You know, you're just kind of wind it on there a little bit so you hide it so it's a little more weedless, you know, but these worms are soft, and when they bite it punctures well, as long as they're not grabbing the tail. You know, and then you kind of, you know, make sure it's sitting nice and even here. You know, it'll sit up real nice when you're bouncing along. You know, and that tail gets up in the water and dangles, and that little chartreuse I like in this murky water. You know, that helps it stand out a little bit more. But this June bug's awesome color in this muddy water. You know, and that fish came off in the boat. It was real important once I got him moving to keep him moving one direction, and I didn't want to go for the net. Then he might have gotten off waiting on that. So just use the momentum, keep him coming the same way, and get him in. A lot of times it'll hold him in just by hold him on by the momentum, and he'll come off in the boat or in the air coming into the boat. You know, in 2 bites in a few minutes, we're not going to go far. Out here in the northeast, you gotta have that net ready in this light line and bait, because there's some big fish in here. You know, I've caught some 5.5s and 5.7s right in here. They will give you heck out here. You know, and you don't want to be slinging them on this light line. Extremely tough mouths, like sandpaper. breeze is really picking up. That's nice. Might be able to get on them rocks and crankbait again. These spots are known to produce. Pretty shallow though, it's only a couple feet here. A little more water over on this point. We're grinding. It's a good thing. Well, we're a little further down the bay. You know, another shallow spot with some good structure. You know, we're gonna just check out a brush pile real quick, see if we can't get a nice bite. You know, some real nice fish down here. You know, water's still 49.5. It's not that different than a few miles back. Yeah, right now I'm just rubbing brush and structure. You know, you're just hoping to make them react. Hit the right piece, you know, right in front of them, make the crankbait do a little dance. Yeah, you know, normally on a brush pile like this, I don't like there he is. There he is. Little guy, nothing big, but a keeper. And that fish was sitting right on that drop off. Look at that, see them there? You know, that's right where he was, and he absolutely killed it right there. Came right over the drop off. You know, that was key. That's why he hit it. I brought it right up the drop off, and he just absolutely crushed it.